First of all, hello and thank you so much to everyone for taking the time to visit this channel. I wish you and your family good health, peace, and the wisdom to cherish the people you love while they are still by your side. Today, we are going to listen to a heartbreaking and deeply emotional story titled, "My Husband Betrayed Me," by having an affair with my best friend. This is not only a story about betrayal in marriage but also a powerful lesson about trust, forgiveness, and the importance of loving yourself. My name is Olivia, and I am 35 years old. 12 years ago, I married James, the man I truly believed I would spend the rest of my life with. We were never wealthy, but we always worked hard to build a happy home together. During the early years of our marriage, life was filled with happiness. James worked diligently, while I ran a small shop to help support our family. Together, we built our home brick by brick and saved every penny for the future of our 2 children. Standing beside me through those years was Sophia, my best friend since college. We had shared countless memories together. After my family, Sophia was the person I trusted the most. She often visited our home, shared meals with us, and looked after my children whenever I was busy. I truly believed our friendship would last forever. Things began to change when James became increasingly busy with work. He often came home late, saying he had business dinners or out-of-town trips. I never questioned him because I trusted him completely. Sophia also started coming over more frequently, saying she wanted to help take care of the children whenever James was away. I felt grateful to have such a wonderful friend. There were small warning signs that I chose to ignore. James suddenly became more concerned about his appearance. He smiled at his phone more often and kept checking it throughout the day. Sophia frequently asked me about James's work schedule, his business trips, and the times I would leave to purchase supplies for my shop. I simply thought she was being thoughtful. One afternoon, one of my appointments with a customer was unexpectedly canceled, so I returned home earlier than usual. The house felt strangely quiet. James had told me he was on a business trip in a neighboring city. Sophia had also texted me, saying she was busy and couldn't stop by that day. As I walked upstairs, I heard soft laughter coming from behind the bedroom door. My heart suddenly started pounding. I slowly opened the door. That moment felt like a knife piercing straight through my heart. The husband I had loved for 12 years and the best friend I had trusted with all my heart were embracing each other in our bedroom. I stood there, completely frozen. No one said a single word. The bag slipped from my hand, and everything inside scattered across the floor. James quickly stepped away from Sophia. Sophia lowered her head in shame. I asked only one question. Why? Neither of them answered. I burst into tears. It was the first time in my life that I felt completely shattered. The most painful part wasn't simply that my husband had cheated on me. It was that the other woman was my best friend, the one who had grown up with me, hugged me while crying on my wedding day, and promised she would always protect my family. After that day, James repeatedly apologized. He said it had been a mistake. He said everything had started because he and Sophia had spent so much time together while I was busy running my business. He insisted that he still loved me. Sophia came to see me as well. She knelt before me and begged for my forgiveness. She cried endlessly. But those tears could never erase what had happened. I didn't make a scene. I didn't scream. I didn't seek revenge. I quietly took my 2 children and moved back to my parents' house. For many nights afterward, I couldn't sleep. I kept asking myself what I had done wrong. Was I too busy making money? Had I stopped being attractive? Had I neglected my husband? Then one day, my mother embraced me and said something I will never forget. My child, don't blame yourself for someone else's mistakes. Those words woke me up. I began learning how to stand up again. I devoted myself to raising my children. I expanded my business. I studied new business skills. I attended personal development classes. I started exercising every morning. I took care of both my physical and emotional health. Day by day, I became stronger. Meanwhile, James and Sophia's relationship quickly fell apart. They constantly argued because they couldn't trust each other. People who betray others often find it difficult to fully trust someone who is betrayed as well. Less than a year later, they separated. Sophia lost her job because of the overwhelming stress in her life. Her family relationships also began to fall apart. One day, Sophia came to my store. She had become much thinner. Her eyes were filled with regret. She told me she had lost everything because of a few moments of weakness. She asked me to forgive her. I looked at the woman who had once been my closest friend. There was no hatred left in my heart. Only sadness and regret. I quietly said, I forgive you, not because you deserve it, but because I want to free myself from the pain. Sophia broke down in tears. I smiled. It was my first genuine smile after many long months. A few months later, James came to see me. He looked much thinner than before. He admitted that he had lost the most precious thing in his life. He begged me for another chance. I remained silent for a long time. Then I gently replied, once a cup is broken, even if you glue it back together, it can never truly be the same again. I no longer hated him. But I could never go back. I chose to move forward. Not because I had stopped loving him, but because I had finally learned how to love myself. Years passed. My two children grew up surrounded by the love of my parents and extended family. They understood that their mother had been strong enough to overcome the darkest chapter of her life. I no longer saw myself as a victim. I saw that painful experience as the turning point that helped me grow into a stronger person. If I had allowed myself to drown in hatred that day, my life might have remained trapped in pain forever. But when I chose forgiveness, I wasn't giving happiness back to the people who had hurt me. I was giving peace back to my own heart. Through this story, I hope anyone who is experiencing betrayal will always remember one thing. You have the right to feel hurt. You have the right to cry, but don't allow your pain to decide the rest of your life. A person's true value is not determined by whether they have been betrayed. It is determined by how they rise again after being broken. Some people enter our lives to love us. Others enter only to teach us an important lesson. No matter which one they are, be grateful that after everything, you still have the opportunity to live a better, stronger, and happier life. Thank you so much to everyone who stayed with this story until the very end. I truly hope today's story has brought you meaningful lessons about trust, staying wise in relationships, loving yourself, offering forgiveness at the right time, and finding the strength to overcome life's greatest challenges. If you found this story meaningful, please don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video with your loved ones so that together we can spread these positive messages to even more people. I wish you all good health, peace, and happiness. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video.